Ladies and gentlemen, I know by now many of you guys are probably tired of hearing my voice because over the last few days I've made quite a bit of videos, man. I think I've made like 12 or 13 videos in the past like 3 days. So, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for putting up with the insanity, right, over the past few days. But I just wanted to give you guys as much content as I physically could to help you guys prepare for the November update. And here we are, fellas. Once again, it's update time. Patch notes are here, maintenance. So we're all gonna go through withdrawal for a few hours. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? This thing right here, this patch notes, got me smiling, boys, because there's a few surprises sprinkled in, and it's the good kind of surprises. And I'm hoping that there's even more when the maintenance actually happens. They decide to go in and do a little extra, right? But that being said, let's dive right into it. Let's check out what they have to say here. I'll give you guys my thoughts. I promise I won't keep you guys too long because y'all been putting up with a whole lot of me for the past few days. So as we all know, we're getting 3 new characters, 4 new uniforms, and 11 characters are getting their potential unlocked. Now, we'll talk about the characters that are getting their potential unlocked because it's kind of silly. I really hate when characters get their potential unlocked when they're not actually like a part of the update, because most of the time those characters are just trash, and I don't want people to waste resources leveling up a character, getting them to level 70, possibly being foolish enough or let's say ignorant, right, of the fact that these characters are not useful, so they may waste their tier 3 materials powering up one of these characters who are just trash, and then ultimately cost themselves valuable resources that they could use to build a very essential tier 3 character. Nonetheless, let's actually dive into it. So first and foremost, we have Gorilla Man here, and just like I spoke to you guys about in the beta, he is a free-to-play character that we're getting in 5.6, and I actually kind of like him. He's fun to play. Not sure how much I'm going to use him after 5.6, but nonetheless, if you are new or a free-to-play player in the game, you definitely should build him because he's solid overall, right? His leadership isn't anything special, but his 4-star passive is pretty darn good, right? Gives himself 20% more HP at tier 1. At tier 2, we've seen it in the beta, goes up to 50% more HP, which is pretty gnarly once you get him up to level 70. And if you have the cojones to get it to gear 25, I wouldn't recommend it because I don't see this guy getting tier 3 anytime soon. Tier 2 passive on him is pretty good. Everything else is pretty much what we've seen in the beta. No real surprises here, except, right, this one right on the 3rd skill. Boys, this guy now has a heal. Okay, in the beta, right? In the beta, he didn't have a heal, and I said it would be dope if they gave him a heal because that's what he really needed. And the fact is, they gave him a heal to go along with the invincibility, which makes him a much better combat character. So for those of you guys who are planning to skip over Gorilla Man, I wouldn't do it because honestly, he looks much better than a lot of the combat characters in the game, like big name combat characters in the game. Like, I know some of you guys are gonna be salty about this, but ultimately, that's just where we are right now. He has decent damage from what I've seen in the beta. It's not tickle damage like Sword Master, or sorry, Toy Master, right? It's not tickle damage. Plus, he has invincibility, iframe, and now they decided to add a heal on top of that, right? And that really bumps up his value in my eyes because his HP pool was already really good. And in addition to that, he had damage reduction and guaranteed crit. So overall, a very solid combat character here. I like the direction that Netmarble is going with these characters, even though they're free to play. He's not a big name, so maybe they were scared that people would skip over him. But the thing is, there's nothing for them to be scared about because he's essentially a free character. So yeah, not sure why they felt like they needed to go back and do more, but I ain't gonna complain. Overall, this kit is looking even better than it did before. Now, let's talk about my boy Slapstick, the character that you're probably gonna see the most on the channel and probably on everyone's channel, right? Once this thing goes live. Slapstick is one of the most interesting characters we've ever gotten in Marvel Future Fight. And if anyone from the Marvel Future Fight team is watching this, please continue this trend, especially when it comes to paywall. I don't necessarily need more powerful characters. I need characters like this that makes me feel like something, right? Makes me feel like, I spend 10 bucks, 15 bucks on this character, depending on the currency conversion, right? But they may not be the strongest character in the game, but they're very good and they're very fun to play, because ultimately that's why we come to this game. We want to have fun with our favorite characters. And even though many of you guys didn't care about Slapstick, I feel like if you pick him up, right, you're gonna have fun with him, you're gonna like him, and ultimately you might even go read his comics, because yeah, the Future Fight team actually did such a good job with the character, and they actually buffed him, right? You guys remember in my Slapstick video, the one thing I said he needed a heal. They actually went back and they gave him a heal. So you know how for the last couple updates, they've been making us Star Agent looks like idiot, like we'll make videos saying, yo, it'll be dope if they did this and this and this and this to these characters. This time, I'm not sure if they listened or they just did their own testing and they just realized that, you know what? Yeah, this character could use this. Let's actually type that on. And they actually did. They went ahead and they gave him a heal right here on his 4 skills. So that's pretty cool. Just like Gorilla Man. So they didn't just buff the paywall, they buffed the free-to-play character as well. That's really cool, because they could have easily gone back, buff Slapstick to make him more appealing, even though he's already really appealing to everyone, in my opinion, right? They could have easily just buffed the paywall to ensure that they made that bag, but they went back and they buffed the free-to-play character as well. That's the Marvel Future Fight I like. That's the kind of moves that I want to be seeing from these guys, like real shit. All right, so besides that, everything else pretty standard. His kit overall was already really good. Negasonic, I didn't see any major change here. Maybe I'm missing something, but overall, she was already looking really good. The only thing I said was just please leave her unchanged, and she looks unchanged. All right, so I'm looking forward to picking her up. Right now, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. All 3 of these characters are gonna get, they're gonna get put through the ringer with me. I'm probably gonna get all 3 of them to level 70 at this point. Like Gorilla Man was the only one I was kind of saying, you know what, probably not gonna get him to level 70. But now that he has a heal, he's looking a lot more like interesting to me. So yeah, definitely gonna keep an eye on Gorilla Man. Boys, now get to the uniforms. We got 2 changes here, 2 surprises, just like with the the characters, right? We got 2 surprises there, 2 heals tacked on. Well, right here we got 2 surprises as well. So first and foremost, all the uniforms will be discounted to 50% to celebrate Black Friday. That's very good. I was not expecting this from Marvel Future Fight, right? I thought they would just say, you know what, we're gonna sell these uniforms at 40% off, and then we're gonna make bank of you guys on Black Friday and just put everything else, right, on 50% off, just because these are new and we're guaranteed to make sales. But nonetheless, I'm happy they did this, because this just fits the spirit of the season. Not just that, boys, check out Apocalypse's uniform bonus there. That 35% chance to penetrate mind immunity, that wasn't there. It's not anything great, right? I would have personally liked it if it was just being able to penetrate super armor, shield, barrier, damage, immunity. Like if he natively had that, kind of like how Mysterio has the chance to penetrate stuff, like on his uniform bonus, that would be dope. But it's nice to see that they went back and they gave Apocalypse something else. Hopefully they gave him more than that, and we just can't see it because the uniform skill changes are not listed, right? They generally aren't. But boys, just take a look at my girl Domino. You remember the video I made on Domino? I said I wish they did a bit more for Domino. She needed more damage. That's what she needed from her uniform. She didn't necessarily need more survivability, even though I will never argue about a character getting more survivability, right? More survivability, never a bad thing. What we needed for her though was more damage, and check that out. They gave her 35% all attack on her uniform bonus. That's insane, right? That's basically the type of attack buff that Apocalypse is gonna get from getting his uniform to Mythic. Just take that in, okay? That's the type of attack buff Apocalypse is gonna get from getting his uniform to Mythic. So you're getting a 35% all attack buff for Domino with her uniform still just being at normal. So once you get that to Mythic, right, 25, 35, that's boss, right? And she still gets to keep the 30% chance to increase her damage by what? No, that is crazy. So now she's looking appealing. Now she's looking like she might be a must buy. Still won't say she gotta be a must buy for you just yet. But boys, stay tuned because Domino's looking a lot better now. Shout out to the Marvel Future Fight team for at least this time not making us look like idiots, right? By going back and nerfing stuff. It's nice to see upgrades when they are needed. And if you do plan to nerf stuff in the future, it's nice if you give us some type of reason behind it. It could be a stupid reason, but nonetheless communicate with us and don't make us look like fools. All right. So nice to see this. Nice to see this. Very nice to see this, and I look forward to see what else they have in store for us. I hope none of this is a typo, because otherwise I'm gonna feel like a real fool for hyping you guys up about the heal on Gorilla Man, the heal on Slapstick, and then the uniform bonus changes for Apocalypse and Domino. Then we have these potential here. I already spoke about this briefly. Honestly, the only character that I'll probably get their potential leveled up, you know what, there's two. One, I'll probably get Coulson because I'll do it for the culture. You know what it is, man. Coulson's my guy. Legendary Coulson with a two-step. Do not get any of these guys to level 70 besides, right, Slapstick, Gorilla Man, Negasonic, and Apocalypse. The others, pure garbage in the current landscape of the game. However, for me, since I'm in a good spot, I have over 100k black antimatter. I have a lot of gold on deck right now, but Apocalypse might take all of that, so don't want to jump the gun. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here for me, right, I'll probably get Carnage to level 70 and at some point get him to gear 25 just because that's my guy, that's my dog. I love Carnage and I'm looking forward to him getting a uniform and tier 3 and just ripping shit apart, right, sometime in the future. Right, so just like how I prematurely got people like Cable and Strife to level 70, even though I have no idea, and Rogue, right, just because I love them, not necessarily because I know they're going to get tier 3. I'm probably going to do the same thing for Carnage, and Coulson will do it for the culture. Yeah, I know what it is. The rest of them, leave them at level 60. I'm not saying do as I do. I'm saying do as I say. Leave them at level 60. They ain't going to change for you. They ain't going to not be doing nothing more for you. Then we got APOC, got his level 7 and his tier 3. Tier 3 looks pretty good. Hopefully, this has been optimized for the live server because y'all seen the video I did on Apocalypse. Every time he used that, he was basically just overloading the server. But again, it's a test server, so maybe it's not as strong as the live server, which it makes sense, right? Because there's not that many people playing on it, so they don't have that much power and probably not much invested in the test server itself. Because I'm pretty sure the test server that the Star Agents play on is probably not the same server that they play on. Or if it is, then yeah. Anyways, moving on. Now, we have Negasonic. She's coming in, just like I told y'all, as a package in the Danger Room, just like Rachel, and it's the same cost. I know some of you guys are going to be pissed off. She's Crystal Wall. Cue the people saying this is paywall. Guys, Crystal characters are not paywall characters. That's the same nonsense as saying that a uniform is paywall, right? We've been buying uniforms for years. I've never ever seen anyone say uniforms are paywall, because it doesn't make sense. You can earn crystals from playing the game, do timeline, do your dailies, right? Save, be patient. If you're free to play, time is all you have. Make use of your time. Make those tough decisions. Sacrifice where you need to. If you like Negasonic, you can get her over time. That's my word to you. I think she's a dope character, and I'm going to give you a ton of gameplay with her. And I'm also going to be giving away a ton of free crystals for Black Friday, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm also going to be giving away $25. Don't think your boy forgot. I've been working overtime on the videos. I've been working like in real life, got a job, all that shit, right? So it's hard to keep up with everything that I want to do for you guys. But trust me, when I say I never forget, y'all going to get $25 from me to help you all out. And we're going to give away like 6K crystals. So stay tuned, boys. Anyways, moving on. They have, let's move on down here. They have some new world bosses coming in. We already spoke about that. It's common sense, right? Cable and Apocalypse getting their world boss ultimate stages. Now the whole Conqueror thing, we already spoke about that. It's nice to see that they actually said, right, that doing higher levels will increase your Conqueror level by more. Moving on, we have something down here that I want to talk about. This thing right here, right? This is pretty dope that they're showing you all the rewards for every single day, right? This is cool. It allows you to plan ahead. So if you're lacking like a certain type of urus, you can say, okay, so Saturday, this is when I'm going to grind like more than just doing the minimum for every single day, because you don't want to pointlessly grind on a day where it just gives you like, I don't know, attack speed and like defense urus. You want to grind like super hard on the days that give you like attack urus, right? So yeah, it's nice that you can plan ahead now. Like for me, because I still haven't memorized this thing because I've been busy, right? If I see like it's the Loki card, like usually it's Saturday, I'll grind a lot of them because I'm still trying to get a perfect roll on that Loki card. But it's nice now that we have a schedule that, like, we always had a schedule, but it's nice to see like the schedule ahead of time so we can make plans, right? Because we got a lot of stuff going on in real life, man. And this right here is pretty simple. It's basically just telling you, right, the limit that you have on these items, and it will show you how many you have in your inventory. Right here, you can buy clear tickets for crystals. I haven't bought clear tickets pretty much ever for crystals, so I don't think you guys will need that. If anything, you can just buy them from the Alliance store for some tokens, right? And if you're actually running out of clear tickets, play the game manually for a couple days and you'll build up enough where you can just like clear ticket stuff. And the thing is, right, most of the stuff that's left now as the daily stuff to grind, you can literally do in like 30-40 minutes. Like, now that they've gotten rid of special missions and that kind of stuff, bro, it's now easier than ever to complete your dailies, right? Man, so yeah, now we're down to the cards, right? We spoke about these cards before, so not really much to say here. The CTPs, however, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really test out Greed or test it at all, just because there's no PvP on the test server, right? And the CTP of Insight, I didn't really get a chance, but I did test out Judgment quite a bit. And the general feel, the general vibe that I got from it is that it's gonna be better than Energy on characters that are elemental based. Right, so your Human Torch, your Thors, your Lunar Snows, those characters, right? It's gonna be better than Energy, but weaker than Rage. The other two, I'm definitely gonna need to test on my own time once I drop some crystals. And this actually looks really cool. This set here looks really cool, and I'm probably gonna complete this for the first time, like on time, right? I'll probably actually no, I won't, because I'm gonna have to build Apocalypse and Cable and Deadpool's uniform will eat feathers, and I'm gonna have to get Negasonic to level 70. Oh my goodness, yeah, scratch that. Not getting it done on time. Anyways, it's nice though. It looks really nice. I really like this splash page right here. It looks very professional. Shout out to Netmarble for cleaning up this page. And yeah, everything else here is just pretty standard. We spoke about these pages before. Just make sure that even if you see something here and you think it's accurate, check with a friend, check on Reddit, even though it's pretty toxic, check on the forum, watch a couple videos. Don't just give a character a CTP just because you see it on this page and then later on you find out maybe it's not correct and then you have to pay crystals to pull it off, right? Just like I always say, measure twice so you only have to cut once, right? Anyways, there's a few more UI changes here, some quality of life stuff, nothing really major. And the thing that's really like boggled my mind is the thought of them going back just to add like Agents of Atlas to this artwork, and the fact that they actually went back and they touched up the Toy Masters tier 2 passive and added some additional text to it, right? They went back, they looked at Toy Master and they thought, his damage is actually good enough, so we're not going to do anything about that, right? We're just going to put some additional text on his tier 2. Boys, and with that, I bid you adieu. There's some quality of life changes here. The only thing I see like that's negative that's going to affect like us, I don't even think this is going to affect anyone, but it might affect some people negatively, is the fact that the game is no longer going to support iOS 8 or lower. So guys, if you're running 8 or lower, you probably should update your device, right? Because your game is probably not running very smooth, but it might just be because you're on an older device, and if that's the case, you probably can't afford a newer one. So this kind of sucks, like when that happens, when they phase out, but they kind of have to do that because if they don't, then we have to suffer. The people who have newer devices kind of have to suffer because they have to lower the performance level of the game to match the lower end people. So they're just trying to phase out the lower end stuff to hopefully help the server run a little bit better. So it kind of sucks. Hopefully you guys can update your device if you're one of the people on iOS 8, because we're on like 13 now. So it's actually pretty crazy that they were still supporting 8 or lower, right? So anyways, boys, with that, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, putting up with me ramble, right? It's been an amazing couple of days, man, and it's nice to see that they actually, I don't know if they actually took some of the feedback from the star agents or whatever, but it's nice to see that they actually went back, looked at their characters, looked at their uniforms, and they said, you know what, this could get changed, this could get buffed, and this is what I like, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what else we get when the update goes live. And boys, And girls, with that, I bid you adieu. You are absolutely amazing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.